Alright, so this is the continuation of Bloodbath. Well, maybe the music is not so bad this time around. Keep it at 50. So I'm going to continue from where I last left off, and there are one or two ways we could go about this. I could go back to my place. Go back to Bakerfield and check out that stuff with regards to what I found, or proceed forward some more, like this right here. Perform analysis on this, and then see what I could see. Or I mean, I got this. These are 4 things I have to do. I have to perform analysis on this, solve the mystery of this, do this, 2 analysis, and of course and check out this as well. So there's 4 things I have to do back home, but I'm going to proceed forward here. It really sucks that you can't zoom in with regards to this damn thing, and so it would be difficult for me to proceed forward if this is a mapping thing, to actually see where I'm going. Like, who thought this was a good idea to have something like this as a reference, but to have it so small that you cannot zoom in or anything? So I was a 7.8 with regards to this game, so now I have to drop it down to a 7.7 because this is ridiculous. Like, you literally have to put your face up to the screen to actually see this small image. If you're on a, like, say, a big screen and everything, it's fine, but if you're using a cell phone or anything, it's like completely dumb. So it's bad. Like, they didn't decide to code to give the whole zoom in aspect, and it's not like there's any other than this right here. This is about close to a zoom that you're gonna get. So that's all you could do. Is like, you really can't zoom in more than this, but you have to work with what you see. So I'm in a room that has the symbols. Okay, this is
Which
a
way should we
crown.
go, Holmes?
There ought to be some clues here. Let's take a look around.
Now he literally said there ought to be some clues here. Let's look around. Tell me what path to go. So, other than the symbol itself,
I saw this symbol in the
and I believe
tunnels underneath the Frigidarium.
I believe he'll say the same thing for each one of them.
I saw this.
Yep.
I saw.
So he literally is going to say the same thing regardless. So we came in here, and it says there are clues to where to go in here. Now the only clue I could see that makes sense to where I'm supposed to go is the light path. See, this cave has no life path. This cave has no life path. None of them do except the first one. So that's the only clue that makes sense to me. The symbols don't mean anything. Where the person was traveling using the torch is the only thing that makes sense. So I'm gonna travel there. came through a light path. Should be another light path somewhere, since that's the only thing that makes sense. Hopefully it is about light path, so I don't know. If it is about light path, then I'll just follow it, keep following it forward. First the light, but this one has a light path too, as well as this one. So let's deviate from that, from the idea of a light path, since there's several now, and go towards our symbol. Now, the first path I took was the lower path, I'm assuming. The next path I took should be like a crown. So I should go to crown path. Because the only clue in the first section was the torch. That's the only thing I saw. And since all paths had torches in the next section, the only thing I could do is go according to the symbol. Now, if I'm correct, if there's another path, then another path would have only one torch in one section. But if I'm wrong, then torches aren't going to be in the next section. Then it would have to be a symbol relevant towards chain of command, or chain of superiority, or top of the food chain, what would come next in the process. So I went down Corinthian path. No, wait. I came in through this path. Into this room. Yeah, so what the hell? Yeah. So the first path I went down was simply because let's backtrace. Came down here because it says here. So this was the first room. Yeah. So yeah. We came down the rope, and then we went down into a room, and in this room, the entrance torch was here for this one, but there's no torch here. No torch there. No, there was a torch. Was a torch there? Okay, so I guess I looked into the first one. I saw the torch in the first one, so I went through the first one. Okay, so since there was a torch there, then that means I looked into the first one, and it was this symbol. But was there a bird in the first one? There was a bird in the first one. So I could have gone down that path as well. But there wasn't this in the first one. So it was a choice between, or this. So it was a choice between the bird and this symbol, this standard. Okay. So the first one was luck on my part. And the second one was the crown thing from the symbol itself. which led me to this. And what the hell is this? There are rooms that are blocked off and they are only open due to sun god, all sun face. Symbols are all, no clues on the walls anywhere. No. So this might be just a simple puzzle. Alright, so if this is what I think it is, based on weight, put amount of stuff here, weight it down, then everything should be fine. But how would I know which one to put where? It has to be a clue inside here, or... oh, it won't let me go back. Alright, so I should attempt to try to solve it on my own first. Is there a type of clue here? Okay. Okay. Let's see how heavy this one is. This is heavy, heavier than this. I need to balance all of them. Maybe I take this. Okay, that wasn't too bad. It's simply a matter of balancing act. Type of color was irrelevant. Okay, so now 3 paths have opened. Okay, the first one was the standard, the second one was the crown, the third one is either a helmet, an arrow, and what looks like a hand or a bull or a bird. So there's no arrow here, so the arrow one is irrelevant. There's no hand here either, so the only one logical here is the Corinthian helmet, or okay. There's a beetle here. There's a sword here, and there's a spiral. Okay, which one is relevant? Well, beetle is present here. There's no sword in this one, so I guess it's a beetle. Okay. And this one only has 2, like a hook and then a curve thing. There's no hook here, but there's a curve thing here. 2. So none of them are present except the crown or the spiral. Sounds like I'm getting close. There's a fork in the road here. So I should follow the path of the torch since there's a fork in the road. Is there a torch down here? Looks like there's a torch down there because it's lit up, but there's no torch here. So okay. And then there's the top of the one is like a bowl and a bird and a hook. No beetle. Bird or helmet or whatever it is. Okay. And there's another path here, but there's no light going there. But there's a light up here. Okay, that wasn't that hard. Let me not speak too soon, because since I'm getting towards the end of the game, things might start to get a bit difficult. The music started to kick in, and things started to get loud. Alright, so what do we have here? There's a device I could turn. What else? So I go up here, walk over here, and there's a device I could turn here. And but this is locked here. Is there something to turn in here? No. Okay. Alright, so I'll have to turn that wheel.
Look, it's the golden knife. But how to get it? This lamp is not old. The oil is still fresh. Perhaps Sir Rodney passed by here.
No, I do not think so. Remember, he went no further than the catacombs underneath the Frigidarium. The murderer left this lamp.
Okay, so hey, when I have to talk over the music because it's so loud. So even though I turned this down, it's like the game is the master volume just makes it louder. Alright, so let's see. So Ronnie did not make it past the catacombs, so he couldn't figure out the riddle of what path to go to. Okay. I mean, I don't know how he could, but then again, maybe he didn't have the map that we had. Moving forward, the killer did have an idea of how to get in here with or probably without the map, but he couldn't get to the knife itself, or maybe he didn't get to the knife. Took the knife out, used the knife to kill Sir Rodney. So so it would appear more than likely that the archaeologist is it's not looking good for the archaeologist, Mr. Percival, because how would anyone know where to find this thing if they haven't been here before, or they understood how to find things in archaeology. But then again, Mr. Gregory doesn't need to be an archaeologist, he just needs to know exactly where things are. As like I said before, the game is trying to push you to make you believe Mr. Percival is the actual killer. And it would be very surprising if he is, because it's so obvious that the person who's the archaeologist is the person who's smarter than Mr. Rodney when it comes to his job proficiency, would be the person able to find this stuff. Or the game is saying, no, Mr. Garrow is pretending to be someone he's not, and he's well aware of how to do these type of things and how to find stuff. But there's also the factor of birthright, which neither of them explicitly represented, and only Mr. Gregory. So the game is trying to go all over the place with regards to certain people. That's why I locked in Mr. Gregory as possible the killer, but I'm willing to accept Mr. Percival as the killer because the game is trying to make him out to be the killer. Who I don't accept to be the killer is Mr. Garrow, because it would be extremely cliche to go the instant route. It's been done before, and it's kind of cringy because you see it coming and you don't want it to happen. So, but here's the best part: if I'm right about Mr. Gregory, then that means Mr. Gregory's in cahoots with someone else. Like, it's a whole cult thing, so it's not just one or two people involved, it's a group of people, which makes more sense. Alright, so I turn this wheel and we get this party started.
Watson, I need your help.
Oh, that's interesting. So Watson finally comes in handy now in the game. After all the others, he's now actually doing something. This is why I say this one is probably the best one, because not only is Watson with you for this one, he actually plays certain roles in this one. At the beginning when he tries to save your health, and then again when he tries to help you with solving a clue before regards to the dig site, and now here again he's actively playing a role with regards to switching between Holmes and yourself. I believe Watson should play a bigger role than just to be shadowing Sherlock, but I don't know why the people who made this game decided to just put Watson as a sideline character just to watch. I understand from the book point of view, Watson was always a voyeur watching Sherlock, but he was also actively doing things as well, as in Black Peter and as in Riddle on the Rails when he shot the gun out of the guy's hand. But they should make Watson at least do some activities in here. It shouldn't all be Sherlock. I believe this is the first one where I could actually play as Watson and do an activity. So I'm going to give the game a point for that. So I'm back up to 7.8. And of course, the riddles, or should I say the puzzle solving in here, is better than that of Riddle and Rails. Not because they're straightforward, but they seem to lean more into the whole concept of what Sherlock does. How he solves mysteries, finding clues, putting them together, combining ideas, seeing things around him that others would not see. These were present in Black Peter and Riddle on the Rails, such as the railroad track and everything. But I believe the story here is, if not for the deduction part and not for solving part, I would say it feels more grander than Riddle on the Rails, and more grander than just trying to solve a man's murder. Feels like something like an Indiana Jones section. That's what this feels like. Sherlock Holmes and Indiana Jones combined section, where he's doing cave diving, or not cave diving, but cave searching and puzzle solving that are more ancient related, and a touch of mythology thrown in there. So this one seems to have more history than the other two, and they throw in more history with regards to actual real things than the previous two. So I like this one better because it has more history in the story, and it has more of that Indiana Jones feeling to it. That's more grander and more ancient than the other two. So for that, entertainment wise, I give it a 7.9. Alright. I like that he used Sherlock in his whole standard when the day is over, no tie look for the little image, little icon. That's very entertaining. They could have gave him his classic look, but they didn't do that. So, alright, so Watson opened this door. Walked in here. I made Sherlock open this, and Watson's gonna turn this. And let's try this one first. Let's see if this opens. Oh, it does. It does open. Okay. Wait, let me see. Let's try it again. Okay. Okay. So a door opened up next to Sherlock. This one right here. This is not open yet. Wait, but I used this one already to open this. What the hell? this door to get in here. Wait, that's going directly towards. Wait, let me see that. Yeah, that's going directly towards the knife. Okay.
This lamp.
No, I don't. The golden knife of Mithras. A long-lost relic has resurfaced. Watson, it is time to conclude this case. Excellent. Now, we should find another way of getting out of here.
Okay, so this is a curved sword, and it's made out of gold, and based on Mr. Garrow's claims, he saw it travel through the air and possibly kill Mr. Rodney. Even in the steamy Rome, he could see it travel through the air. A golden, something like a knife. And it's curved. I'm still trying to fathom, if you're throwing something towards someone, how would the pointy end of a curved weapon hit directly into the eye? If anything, it will go into the eye, but it would shatter the side of the skull as well because it's curved. Doesn't make sense. You would have to be very accurate on your throw. So it can't be a downward throw. It would have to be more like a upward throw or a sideways throw, knowing that how to properly projection. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter if it's pointy or not. I guess that's what the game is saying. It doesn't matter. Alright, so wait, what? Oh, wait a minute. But Watson has to get out. I guess it doesn't really matter. We could just get out on our own.
I need to finish here first.
Oh, really? Okay. So, I have to get the hell out of here. It's blocked off. Well, I have to get Watson out, so... So I have to go back in reverse. Or maybe the game is saying no, I need to get Watson out first. That's close. Okay. Okay, so Watson's out. But Sherlock is locked in. There we go. And let's see. It's the exit door. Oh, okay. Wait, what? Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? All I got to do is... There you go. Come on, Watson.
On the sofa for the third time today. Well, don't be surprised if Watson sits on you again.
Alright, so... I have several things I have to analyze. I have to do this. I have to do this. 2 chemistry analyzation, or chemical analyzation, or research analyzation, and 2 dialogues. Mystery with regards to this and this. So it's saying the mystery of the Mithras is somewhat connected to Mr. Garrows. I don't know, man. I mean, I would be very bored and very quickly insulted.
There are 12 pieces here. Let's try to gather them.
Okay, so we have to rotate and swap mold pieces depending on their shape, position. Okay, So I have something similar to that of a Rubik's Cube type situation, or a puzzle piece. So how, how I would do this is I'll put the flat pieces facing myself first, like this. Hey, what the hell? Okay. Rotate. Verify. R2. Oh, okay. Hold L1, 2. Vertical rotate. Okay. Well, what about individual rotate? Select and rotate. Flat piece here. Okay, this one flat here. And alright, flat there. It can be something as simple as what I'm assuming, but what the hell? Why do you keep going over there to verify? I'm not trying to verify that. Fine, I'll turn the whole thing. I only verify for what I'm actually looking at. See, these two work. Okay. So it's giving you a hint already right there. So if I was to do this and this, it would have to mean
I will
what?
count this piece as a starting point.
Yes, I know. Okay, so I'm gonna use the edge, like this thing right here, this little edge in there, put edge. So wherever I see a little edge inside of it, like this is an edge as well. Yeah, so whatever object has an edge on it means a slot is supposed to go there. Something is supposed to slot it there. Rotate vertically. Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. Okay, so I can't rotate individuals vertically. So everything has to be horizontal, and nothing could be rotated vertically. Okay. Alright, so rotate all. So something has to be connected from here. This is correct, slotting into here. But this is extended outward here. So this cannot be extending outwards. It has to be extending inwards. So there. So something has to be slot on top of this, facing this direction. Um, that seems to be the only way to turn it off. And the top one cannot be pointed outwards. So, but this is also pointed outwards. So this is probably the right way to have this. It's like this is probably the right way to have this, but maybe it doesn't belong here. Okay, so which one should I swap out for putting here? Let's try to rotate this. But it has an edge at the bottom, like something is supposed to be at the top, so it's not supposed to fully be at the bottom. Swap this with this one. So even if I put this one here, like this, then rotate the whole thing. The under part is slotted, makes sense, but this part is exposed, which doesn't make sense. There you go. So that's that. These three are good. Right. This is not good because this is... Okay, so something has to go here, rotate vertically. Something has to go fit here. Okay, so you're basically saying this one doesn't belong here. And this one definitely doesn't belong here. It's supposed to be, yeah, definitely. Okay. And something has to slot here. Curve here, downward here. This one must be rotated here, but can't be there. Can't be outwards. Has to be inwards. And this one also has to be swap. This one looks like a top as well. Like a top, complete top of something. Yeah. Okay, so these are all tops. Like this one is a complete top as well. Look, a complete top as well. So they're all flat surfaces on the top. So these are all the top ones. Now they all have to be turned the right way. So this has to be turned this way. And but these are two this has to be turned this way. No. Yeah. Alright. And this cannot be turned outwards. It has to be turned inwards. Vertical rotate. Okay. But it has to be fit here. These downwards one cannot be facing outwards. These cannot be moved. They're already fit in place. This seems to be yeah. So this is also a flat surface one. Belongs at the bottom. This is a flat surface one. Also belongs at the bottom, but should be rotated. Like this. There you go. And it's not that complicated to figure out. If it's the whole thing is one big cube, then everything on top has to be completely flat surface, and everything at the bottom has to be completely flat surface. So there cannot be like edges in between. You just need to know where to put them. Okay, so the only thing that's vertical rotate. Swap this. And then no. There you go. Is this one there you go. And let's see. There you go. And top. Kind of face outwards. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Vertical rotate. That fits there. But this, wait. Hold on. Okay. Alright. But this one does not fit because it faces outwards. But it fits there. Okay. Vertical rotate. Rotate. Maybe maybe I have to be super, make it super straight. Pretty sure I'm making it super straight, so what vertical is that they all have to be vertical. Wait. Like all the bottoms are connected, so tops have to all be vertical. Looks like they're wait, let me rotate it and see. Rotate on this side. Rotate on this side. Strange. No, because then that will be definitely not. Okay, facing outwards. Okay. Vertical. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, so that's that. Okay, and then this. Nope. But then okay. And put you back here. And so this is aligned with this. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I see it. I see the issue. This is square. This is square, latch into here, but this is a triangle type of fit. This looks like a triangle edge fit. So this and this are aligned properly because they have a triangle edge fit going here. So the only one that has a triangle edge fit here is, yeah, I should have seen it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And then this also have like a triangle edge fit. Yep. That. Okay. There. I was worried about something for a minute there. Then I realized, nah, I'm correct. I just need to look at the edges. It's less about. It's about the solving the flat surface and about the edges. That's all. Um, where they fit. There. There. And problem solved. Oh, 1 second. There.
It is a mold, and it is ready for casting.
Yeah. So when
The
it comes,
mold is prepared for casting. We just need to fill it with certain material. So Rodney has made a reconstruction of the mythical golden knife. He seemed unafraid of maledictions, and yet
when it comes to puzzles or um, jigsaw puzzles, or when it comes to anything that has to do with putting things together, you usually start from the base, the base of the top and the base of the bottom, the edges. That way you don't have to worry about where things fit. You just have to know exactly where the ends are, like the flat surface towards the shape is. And once you go out from the outward, going inward, it's much easier that way. Because then the surface, no matter what they are, the top surface has to be flat and the bottom surface has to be flat. And then you can work your way through the other stuff. So that's how I did that. I could have skipped it, but yeah, this one I'll skip just for context because I'm not sure if there's not another story. Um, there could be another story to this game, and I'm not sure how long my internet will hold up. So I'm going to skip this one and let Holmes do it for himself. And let's do some deductions, combinations. Alright. I'm pretty sure he... Well, actually, if I skipped it, let's see, what did he... Okay, so he constructed Mithras knife mold. So he reconstructed the knife within the mold. Okay. So I have one more experiment. Alright. The mole form. Found in St. Albans was ready to copy the golden knife from Mithras' shape. I doubt it will have to be associated with the mole form, because the mole is just a form and it has nothing to do with the golden knife itself. That's why it went red. Let's start with golden knife then. Alright, so he's trying to tell me who the golden knife belongs to. Salt and ice. Strange wounds. Ah, golden knife. Uh, where is it? Strange wounds. Oh, okay. So that's the second thing I've actually truly gotten wrong in the game. As I would assume then that the golden knife, which Mr. Garrow claimed was used to, like he saw a golden object flying through the air, and the only golden object we know of is the golden curved knife. So whatever Mr. Garrow saw going through the air that was a golden object was not, as least is saying here, the one was made with a particular curve and sharp weapon. So it couldn't be the golden knife because the game is basically saying it's not the golden knife. And Sherlock created this mold design of the golden knife, which isn't golden, unless Mr. Rodney created a curve mold one first, and someone used a simulated one, a copied one, and used that instead as the murder. So whatever was thrown is not related to the wound inflicted by a curved object. So it wasn't a curved knife. Alright, so let go of the golden knife for the moment. Highly diluted water. Now I could say salt and water dilute stuff, or at least salt and ice. Salt and ice bucket were stored under tunnel, under frigidarium. But what does that have to do with the body being diluted water? Doesn't seem to be related. Bracer. Unless the mold was Britannian silver, was, I mean, the mold, the thing that melted inside of the brazier was actually one of the mold compounds. It shapes the pattern of the murder weapon, but it's not the murder weapon because I try to connect them together. I guess Holmes could assume that the mold form was used to the killing, but then that would be the same as assuming that the golden knife was used to the killing. I know these two are wrong. If the mold form is assumed to be strange. Yeah. So these one be what? They're related? Okay, so here's the thing that I find to be very strange. And it's very strange. You're telling me that there was a golden object that Mr. Garrow saw going through the air, possibly the murder weapon, curved and all, and the replica of said mole object was the actually true murder weapon. But unless the replica is golden in form, as it cooled down, it's golden in form, then that would make sense. Well, why not just take the actual golden knife? Is it because they couldn't get the golden knife? That why they see, maybe that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that the only logical reason for this to be true, because it wouldn't be true if they're able to attain the golden knife prior and then just put the golden knife back. Only way this could be true is that they couldn't get the golden knife, so they used this. That's the only thing that makes sense. Because then what was the hell is the point of that clue? The only thing that makes sense. If the game later on tells me that any character had access to that golden knife, the actual original golden knife, then there's no reason to create a replica to murder someone with a replica of the golden knife. And then this is pointless because they could have just used the original golden knife. Alright, so that's what the game is trying to tell me. The original golden knife was never accessed. They couldn't get to it or get it out. Because if they could, then there's only one factor for the reason why they didn't use the golden knife. Perhaps they didn't want it to be tainted. That's the only thing that makes sense. Otherwise, why not use the original golden knife to do the killing? Why use a copy? That's the only thing that makes sense. So, wrong about two things, right about one thing. Wrong about actually being the original golden knife. And what else clues? And wrong about the champagne, I believe. No, wrong about the golden knife and wrong about the salt and the ice. Because I thought it had something to do with champagne. It wasn't. So that's about it so far from this one, this game, this version. I was only wrong about two things completely so far. Everything is somewhat related. I'm not counting the other missions. Check if we can create a silver knife with the material found. What? Okay, so if we can create a silver knife, because silver was found within the brazier melted, and silver was used to reinforce Mr. Rodney's ring. So if silver was found within the brazier to create a simulation, a copy of that knife, then Mr. Garrow's statement regards to a golden type object going through the air when the steam room was on is off. I swear it's trying to make Mr. Garrow out to be a big fat liar and the killer. And if it is, then I'm gonna drop this game some points. I don't need a usual suspect game here. I'll be like, listen man, you can't copy what someone did in a movie and then put it in a video game because people will be able to see it and identify with it easy. The victim playing innocent when it's so obvious. Okay,
Let us try to create an object from silver by using the mold.
Sure.
It will take a minute to melt the silver with my gas burner. Done. Now I can proceed further.
See, because what it is this thing was found, the silver was found within the brazier. That's what I found. So it was melted. So what's assumed is that if this wasn't a discovery they made and decided to melt it down or hide something within the brazier, then this was the said object used for the killing and then it was melted down. But how would a melted knife turn into a circular object? Like, that's not how that works. That definitely is not how that works. So it can't be a knife because if a knife was to melt, of course it will bubble up and then it will melt, but it won't form into a circular type silver object. It will melt, but a somewhat shape of its original self would be melted down. It would be more crescent-like and curve-like. So it's assuming that he was melting this silver on that bracer for a long time after he killed Mr. Rodney. Well, that's bullshit. Like, you know how long that would take for that thing to turn into a mold like this? I don't know. I'm just speculating that it's the knife, but I don't think it is, because if it is, it would be real stupid for it to be like a chunk of silver.
The mold is hot. I should wait for it to cool down.
I thought the whole like Rubik's Cube, or
Done. Now I can proceed further.
I thought the whole like cube, doing the whole cube puzzle thing was going to be hard, but it really wasn't. Like, it's just common sense. If the surface of a cube is flat on all sides, then it'll be difficult. But if one section of a cube isn't flat and it's off, then that portion that's not flat and off doesn't belong in the outside portion of the cube itself, because the cube has to turn into a giant sized square, and it has to form without any extensions to represent the cube itself. So it has to be flat on the outside no matter what. So any type of curvature has to be formed going inwards or sideways. And you have to do that at the top and the bottom, because the flat surface of the bottom has to be flat as the top. So you go from the outside going inward. So that's how that was solved. Okay. Alright, so someone made a replica of this dagger and killed Rodney. Is that what Holmes is saying?
A homemade silver knife. Excellent. We have created a knife with the silver that we found. It could have been used to kill Sir Rodney.
It was extremely clever to create a weapon that could dissolve at the scene of the crime.
Well, if you heat up silver fast enough, it will dissolve, yes, but it takes a ridiculous amount of heat to turn silver that quickly, that fastly. Like, is really a brazier within a steam bath that hot enough to melt it fast enough before, hey, what's going on? I hear screaming in there, someone just got killed. Oh, good God, someone's killed, blah, blah, blah. Turn off the steam bath. You know, they're not going to leave the steam bath on for this thing to keep melting after someone's screaming bloody murder. They're going to wait, so they're going to turn off the steam bath. It means they're going to turn off the brazier, so the person will have to know that it would melt this thing fast enough. So unless this is putty silver, not like silver, like quicksilver, it would take it very fast period for it to melt. Or if it's real silver, it takes a long time to melt. Either way, it will take time to melt. I don't know about the logic of this game, man. I'm like, what the hell? Like, melting metal, any type of metal, is not something that is a speedy process. Like, if you put it directly on fire, metal starts to melt. But if it's in a form of a thing, it still takes a while. It takes longer for any type of metal to melt. I mean, if anyone try to cook steak, if you ever try to cook steak, like, it takes a while for steak to be fully, like, cooked or fully burnt, because the steak is hard. But like, I don't know the logic of this game, but I'm just going with it. Oh, I didn't examine this? What the hell? I thought I did. Oh, I didn't piece it together. Okay. Wait, but before I do that, I did have some premonition stuff. Okay. Strange wounds. Was made with a particular curved knife. Silver knife. Okay, so are you shitting me right now? It's telling me that the wound was made with a particular curved and sharp weapon, but it wasn't the silver replicated knife, and it wasn't the golden knife. So someone used a curved weapon, not the silver knife and not the golden knife, to kill Mr. Rodney in his eye. This better not be one of those things. Is this, you have to put this first in front of this one, and then this one afterwards. But like, for Christ's sake, if that's the case, then I was like, I'll drop it another point for that. Who cares which order you have to put them in? They're combined together. Okay, silver knife. We can create a silver weapon from clues found at the crime scene. What do you mean can? You just did. Inside brazier. So that's the only thing that makes sense. They melted the silver knife inside the brazier. That's the only thing that makes sense. And it's kind of still freaking stupid. This is basically saying the brazier was hot enough to melt freaking hard silver. Holmes created the mold, waited. He even did it. The game even did it itself. It says, let me wait for the silver to be completely liquefied, and then I put it on top of the mold, and then I'll wait for the mold to solidify and cool down. So even if the mold solidified, cooled down, and he had a knife, and then he did the reverse, throw the knife into anything that's made out of flame, it will still take a while for that thing to be completely melted and turn into some liquid goo. By then, people would knock the door down and say, hey, murder happened here, turn off the steam, turn off the brazier. I, I don't know, man. I'm trying to find logic in the game, and certain things don't add up, but it does make somewhat sense. Like, if we're going according to game logic, a time period for which something can be melted, it's far longer or far shorter than reality. So we're going according to game logic. It's like running from one end of a section in Elden Ring to another section in Elden Ring on torrent. It will take you an entire day to get there, but in video game logic, it only takes about 20 minutes most, or 15 minutes most, from one plane to another if you're running on torrent. So that's the logic I'm going with. It's game logic. It's not reality logic, so I have to just accept it. It doesn't make sense realistically and scientifically, but game-wise it does make sense. Alright, silver weapon. Silver weapon used, then destroyed in the brazier after the crime. No shit. I knew something was destroyed in the mold. I knew it was either proof to hide proof of their crime, but I didn't know it was a knife because Mr. Garrow said it was a golden object that was thrown in the air and that looked like a curved golden object. Like, if it's gold, then it wouldn't be silver. So Mr. Garrow was lying. Now I can put this together. Alright, so just like the little cube thing, start from the base. This is a flat surface here, and it looks like a triangle, but the flattest surface is the top itself. So I will leave that right here. Put this right here. Next flat surface. Can I rotate it? Says I could put it, but I cannot rotate it. Okay, so this is a flat surface as well. So flat surface. Next flat surface. Flat surface. Top flat surface. Flat surface, no. No flat surface, no flat surface. Somewhat flat surface at the bottom. Flat surface. And flat surface, but side flat surface. Also side flat surface. No flat surface. You two stay in the center. You also stay in the center. You stay here. Actually, you, all three of you stay here together. As well as you, I guess. And transparency. Transparency on the wood. Okay, and you stay here as well. Alright. The shape. Okay, now I'm going to deal with the lines. No, because that don't match with this. And that don't match with this. And there you go. Flat surface, where are you? One second. No. Somewhat yes, but no. I'll leave you there for the moment. Also leave you there for the moment. Okay. Okay. And more flat surface. Okay, so I'm at a 7.9 before. Now I'm at a 7.8. The transparency of the wooden background and the glass itself makes it hard to actually see the edges and stuff. When you're solving puzzles, no matter what it is, on any table, you don't make the table similar to what it is, or in color to what it is that you're trying to turn into a puzzle. Anyone knows that, because it's difficult. This isn't a science thing. This is an art thing. Like, colors of the same color coordination or of the same color family typically blurs the eyes. Neutral colors tend to block out those factors. Like if something is completely black, you're throwing some white to try to neutralize things and see them. And if something is completely white, you're throwing black to try to neutralize them so you could see objects. In other words, everything here has light colors. Some grains, but mostly reds and mostly orange and mostly yellows to form the brown color, and is present within this as well. So what was needed here was to have a black table, not a brown freaking table. Because then now my eyes has to strange, which has nothing to do with the puzzle. Like if I'm having difficulty trying to figure it out, it has nothing to do with the goddamn puzzle. It has to do with because I just can't see. Because someone genius decided to make the table brown. And have lighting effects on it as well. For fuck's sakes. Fine, I'll just throw this here. Could have solved it a long time ago, but my complaint is valid. Making dumb decisions with regards to curvature of tables and shit. Like, so stupid. And I can't rotate this table, so, or rotate the object itself. So this would have been solved like
Watson, could you
a
please
full
use
minute
this
ago.
negative and your photographic equipment to process the photograph?
Not even 2 minutes ago. Could have been solved 2 minutes ahead of time.
Thank you,
Was it for
Watson.
the damn
Now I
table?
must use reagents to develop the photograph.
I do like this one better than the other two though, because Watson was involved in the whole tomb event. Where I switched to him and then he switched back to me. And we helped each other out. And in the early parts of the game when he was checking my pulse and another factor as well. So Watson is heavily involved in this one, unlike the other two, where he was just part of the cutscene. Alright, so who do we see here? Mr. Black One, probably, and of course Mr. Rodney. Who does this look like? Does it look like anyone else that we've seen before? Fourth party member? This does not look like... This is Mr. Rodney Bentcliffe. And this is the archaeologist. So this is Bentcliffe. Wait a minute. What the hell? Oh, it never... Okay, the game never showed me what Mr. Bentcliffe looked like. Oh, yes, that's true. It never showed me what Mr. Bentcliffe looked like. It only showed me what the other three suspects looked like. But it never showed me what Mr. Bentcliffe looked like. So this is what he looks like. The archaeologist. And, I mean, not the archaeologist, the investor. So this is what he looks like, and this is what the archaeologist looks like. Now, this is not Mr. Percival. So Mr. Percival is a different archaeologist. So this is Mr. Blackhorn.
Another archaeologist, most probably.
Yes, the fourth person within our story. Yet I said before that the fourth could be the receptionist at the bathhouse. But fourth as in he's involved somewhere, not fourth as in he's one of the killer. Everything is very culty. So we could be talking about a group of people here. So I believe he might be involved some way in order to push the story forward. Not in that he's directly involved, but he's like indirectly involved. Kind of like how Mr. Thompson in the second story, Riddle on the Rails, was inadvertently involved, though he wasn't the murderer. But they are four people, just like I said, involved. There was a fourth person involved. And this is their chill ice. Champagne, possibly.
Ice.
Also found within the tombs. And the salt.
Salt.
Ice cream. Well, is salt used in ice cream? Some salt is used in ice cream. But not a lot. Well, sodium is used in ice cream, some sodium, in order for mixing. So, they were making ice fucking cream in the caves.
Ice cream.
Also, they had salt and ice in that cave. So they brought ice cream with them in the cave, or they were making ice cream. What the hell is going on?
Ice cream. The pyramids of Giza in Egypt. The pyramid. Another. Ice cream in the desert. We are indebted to the Romans who developed the technique.
Romans developed the technique of having ice cream in the desert. Well, it is hot, and ice cream is extremely cold. You have to keep that ice pretty cool. Oh, I see what he's saying. It's not about the ice, it's about the salt and the idea of creating ice cream with salt due to heat. The Romans came up with gelato, or gelato came from Italy, which is associated with rum. So, oh, okay, ice cream, a Roman invention.
Ice cream.
I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think I'm somewhat like, I don't go look up ice cream and say, hey, who created ice cream? That's not my proficiency or interest. Wait, it's not finished?
Ice cream. Sir Rodney.
So that's it. Salt and crushed ice may help to create ice cream.
Help to create ice cream, not make ice cream. You need other factors as well. You need a lot of sugar. And you need a good mixer, which they didn't have back in the days. And you need a whole lot of paste. If not sugar, honey. Honey and a lot of factors go into making ice cream. Ice is one of them. Didn't know salt was one of them, but I know sodium is in ice cream. There's a lot of history stuff going on in this game, at least in this one. Okay, so salt and ice. Let's make negatives are running. Okay. Someone was experimenting with the Roman method of ice production. Why would they care? I mean, the whole idea is to get the knife, to have it attached to someone's bloodline, someone's lineage, to state that they're of importance. Like, what does ice cream has to do with any of this? Create an ice knife? Well, what? We're in Mordor now? Magic? As in Alan Wake 2? Magic is not real? Wasn't that what the guy said in Alan Wake 2? Magic is not real. Ghosts aren't real. Magic isn't real. So we're talking about someone creating an ice knife now. First a golden knife, now a silver knife, now an ice knife. But that would make sense. If they want to kill someone quickly, throw it in their eye. The ice would melt it. Ah, lots of water was found once we checked the blood after using peroxide. Found within the blood of the person. A lot of water was present there. They created an ice version of the weapon. It was a curved weapon, and it was made out of ice, not silver. Then what the hell was the point of the brazier and what was melted there if it was silver? If it wasn't a silver knife used to kill the person and it was made out of freaking ice, then what would be the point of putting inside a silver object inside of the brazier? I mean, yes, if you kill the person with with an ice weapon, then the brazier will melt it in a couple of seconds. I don't know where the hell this game is going. First, we're talking about silver and melting stuff and hiding stuff. Now, the silver knife is now turning into an ice knife. I mean, it makes sense with regards to diluting of the body. That stuff makes sense. It being a knife doesn't really make sense. Why would they want to create an ice knife for? What's the point of doing that? Why not just stick to a silver knife? Because it would be more efficient to kill the person with an ice version of a sharp knife, and it's easy to get rid of the evidence, saying that fact that there will be no fingerprints on something that's completely disappeared because it's made out of water, frozen water. True. But then what was the point of the silver fucking knife then? Or melted object in the brazier, if that's the case, if they're going down the ice route. It's the same thing with Black Peter, man. It's like the game is going all over the fucking place. Okay, it basically saying this. What the hell?
If I wish to shape the ice knife, then I need to pour water inside the mold.
So why did we create a silver knife then? If it was an ice knife. What was the point of the object being inside the brazier being silver? If the whole point of the game was to find an ice knife. For the love of God.
If I wish to shape the ice knife, then I need to pour water inside the mold.
Okay, so I'm still trying to understand. So he looked at the picture, pieced them together, realized that it was ice was in there, and realized they were eating ice within the frozen. That ice was found within the entrance site towards the catacombs, and Holmes quickly put it together that they were making ice cream, or they were trying to produce ice. But how did he come about thinking that it was an ice knife? Simply because ice was there. Because the water, he found that more water on the person's body after using the peroxide for fizzling out the blood. That's the only thing that would make sense. Like me and Watson, or not Watson, me and Holmes together in this game, in this adventure, piecing it together. That's the only thing that would make sense logically, for a reason why he would all of a sudden assume that there's an ice knife because of the diluting thing. Or what was the point of the whole silver? I don't know, man. It's like the game is trying to be overly
salt,
complicated.
And then the mixing. It should be elementary. We need to reach minus 20 degrees Celsius to fully freeze the water inside the mold. Before beginning, I must remember that I have enough ice and salt for no more than 4 attempts.
I'm not interested in your attempts. This is getting convoluted. I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna skip it.
A surprising and yet a very brilliant idea.
It's the perfect weapon. It enables one to kill a man and then it melts. The only trace it leaves is a small puddle on the ground.
Yippee. You solved the case. What was the point of the silver knife experimentation then? If it was an ice knife. If this, the point of the silver knife experimentation was just to discover the cubes, which then form into a mold shape of a knife, then there was no need for him to experiment with the silver at all, because the shape of the mold within the crevice of the design was knife shaped. I don't know, man. I think the whole silver knife thing was a red herring again, deviating from the point of the story.
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
Like, for real. As the game started, I inspected the brazier, found Mr. Garrow's glasses there that he left that cracked because he was leaving it close there, making it seem that Mr. Garrow's the killer. Then I found a coin inside there and melted silver. Then I thought to myself, okay, someone was hiding something and it's silver related. And then we get to a certain point in the game where we found these cubes and then we put them together. And then Holmes got the idea of assuming, because this was his idea, that he should melt the silver and see if the silver would form to create the knife. So me following Holmes, because I didn't think that the silver had anything to do with the knife whatsoever at all, but the game says otherwise, decided to then form the silver into the knife. And I said, alright, so they decide not to go with Mr. Garrett's story and about the golden knife going through the air. They decide to go with a silver knife. Okay, fine. They kill him with a copy of a silver knife. But then the game all of a sudden turns and go in a different direction and start talking about fucking ice cream. And then turns out that it was an ice weapon, which makes the most sense because from everything I've been doing as an experiment from the beginning of the game. So the whole point of the freaking silver is pointless. They could have skipped over that. There was no need for it to be there. It's like, what was that chick's name? Is it even in my documents anymore? No, it's gone. Because this is a new case. Emma. She was Emma something. Emma Kisei. Then I realized, oh yeah, Emma Kisei of Mr. Black Peter story. And the cannibals. And the murder. And the theft at the museum with regards to the object. And the guy dying at sea, killed by Black Peter. None of those things were relevant whatsoever at all. They were just blinds, interruptions, obstacles. And the same goes for the silver knife. It was pointless to have it there. It's just there to throw in to try to deviate you from the path of the story. Like, but it's not a good one. They're bad ones. Here, I can accept it somewhat because there's not too many of them. I said it before. Once you have more than 4 things that are unrelated in the game towards a story you're going in and you're trying to sell it to the audience, sell it to the moviegoer or whoever. If it goes beyond 4 and it's not related to the story, it starts to become annoying. Here, it's only annoying twice. One with the silver and the other with, I believe, not the mole, but a previous event that happened earlier in previous videos, early videos. And then I believe the third one is the goddamn brown table, Sherlock Holmes brown table, and the transparent in the use of, which has nothing to do with the story. It just has to do with the design of the game for using a light table to look at glass on. Not very smart. All Sherlock had to do was take a black piece of paper, throw it on the damn table, and then put the glass on top of it to isolate the transparency. But they didn't think about that one. Alright, so wait, what was he saying? Who killed Rodney Betcliffe? I wonder if I go back to the precinct, would they say anything? I doubt they will. I think it just wants me to solve the puzzle now. Everything has been presented, I believe. I mean, it's going down the Mr. Percival route as the obvious killer. Him.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
But I know the game is trying to put the shitty thing of making Mr. Garrow the killer. So, I'm going to go with Mithras first.
What can you tell me about Mithras?
Oh, so much. It was the core of our work. Why do you ask?
Were you seeking the golden knife?
I see you are an amateur. Yes, the golden knife was our grail. It is said that it bears the only text explaining the ritual of the cult of Mithras.
I understand. I read something about immortality.
A myth. The knife would provide immortality only to the worthy one, and yet it is cursed, and it would kill you if you are not initiated.
Makes sense. Those who are unworthy are killed. Mr. Rodney was not worthy. And the only worthy ones are those of the direct bloodline. Assuming if the cultist stuff is true, and only someone of direct bloodline can be worthy of using it.
What can you tell me about Garrow?
Well, he always looks so sad, and he has been acting strangely lately. He complains about voices and visions. I will keep an eye on him because I'm worried.
Did you expect to find the golden knife at the baths?
Well, Sir Rodney thought that it might be there. Did you observe the knife representations there? They are so extraordinary. And we had hoped... it is a tragedy that he has passed away, taking all of his secrets with him. As soon as I've been released, I will continue Sir Rodney's researches in his memory.
Okay. They are so extraordinary. He is very interested in finding this. It's like finding the Holy Grail for him. It's very extremely important. But he seems very dedicated, less likely a murderer. But the game is trying to put it on him. Everything is trying to put it on him because he's so dedicated and want to find it. However, the game is also trying to deviate from him onto Mr. Garrow, because Mr. Garrow is a bold-faced liar and is unstable and takes drugs, and yeah, the game is trying to say Mr. Garrow is of the bloodline. Like, I don't believe that crap at all. And if it is, he turns out to be the actual killer, I'm going to be very sad.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
He did say it was a golden thing flying through the air, and he couldn't see. Hey, you were taking drugs. Were you taking your drugs to put on your warts while you were in the steam bath? While you saw this golden thing flying through the air without your glasses there, Chief?
Thank you. Thank you. This will help me to calm down.
Do be careful with the dosage.
I will.
I mean it.
So Holmes basically say, I mean it. So Holmes know the quality and the effect of the drug, which he used on his warts, which affect himself, who's already have issues. That's why Holmes is saying that. Let's see what he'll say when Mithras popped up.
Perhaps you could explain the cult of Mithras to me.
Yes,
No,
explain that.
There is nothing to say. We are not the worthy ones.
But Sir Rodney believed that he was.
He was wrong. I have visions. The golden knife, the mummy. Oh, it's all my fault.
Calm down, Mr. Garrow.
The golden knife, the mummy, is all my fault. We were not the worthy ones. So he's basically saying, Mr. Garrow is basically saying he's not worthy, he's not of the bloodline. and neither was Mr. Rodney. Obviously, could still be lying. Yeah, he's still lying somewhat. He's not lying about Mr. Rodney not being worthy, but it's strange how Holmes did not bring up. See, this is what's weird about this game. Why didn't Holmes bring up in this conversation with Mr. Garrow that, A, Mr. Garrow, you said in the steam bath you saw something golden in the air, flying across the air, like something sharp and golden. Like, why didn't he bring that up if he assumed that the knife that which was used was made out of ice or silver? Why didn't he question him with regards to this? You know what? I'm just going to keep going. There are certain things the game doesn't make sense.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Yes, Mr. Arrogant. I wonder if he knew about Mr. Rodney's drugs. Very probably. I mean, not Mr. Rodney, Mr. Garrow's drugs. And how familiar is he with Mr. Garrow? If Mr. Garrow was the guy that tailed Mr. Rodney and was with Percival as a third party working with them, and he's the manager of a bathhouse, he won't be at dig sites or anything like that or traveling the world with them. Unless Mr. Garrow admitted to him that he's unwell, or Percival admitted to Mr. Gregory here that Percival requires the use of his drugs and stuff. Otherwise he goes a little crazy.
Are you aware that Mr. Garrow is under a form of medication?
Garrow? No, but I never liked that parasite.
Do you believe him to be capable of murder?
Well, he did have blood on him. Does that make him a murderer?
He never liked that parasite. And yes, he's right. Garrow is kind of a parasite. He's an indulgent person on what others do for a living, archaeologists. And of course, Mr. Rodney, he's trying to acquire information, probably not for fame, but for notoriety, with regards to his business dealings with whoever he works for separately. He believes that Mr. Garrow is a parasite because stolen ambitions is something that he doesn't want. He wants all the ambitions and all the recognitions because he's this type of guy. And he's maybe his birthright, blood right. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the killer. Like I said before, evil eye is always on him, even though the aura eyes, or the aura is on Mr. Percival and the nature is on Mr. Garrow. I wonder, why does he want me to check his body again? That's weird. I already did it before. Why is it doing it again for him? Why is that, Mr. Gregory? Maybe it's just a mistake. People who made this game just decide to not. Yeah, it's just a mistake. Never mind.
The paintings in the baths are focused on Mithras, I understand.
Yes, they are what make this place remarkable.
And that is why Sir Rodney came...
I'm jumping to conclusions. I'm well aware of the stuff popping up to the others as well.
here?
He believed that the golden...
It's just that my mind is trying to solve the problem before the problem arises or solved by Holmes. So I'm not paying attention to certain things that are obviously present in front of me because my mind is elsewhere.
knife, which is an ancient ritual item, was hidden somewhere around the baths. I admit that it would be wonderful if it were true.
And you are not concerned by the reputation of this artifact?
You mean the curse? Before someone is dead, it is a blessing. After they are dead, well, then it becomes a curse. Ha!
Interesting view. Before someone is dead, it's a blessing when it comes to their ambitions and whatever else. But after they're dead, it then becomes a curse because it's now tagged and locked onto them. Did he want a curse to happen? And if he wants a curse to happen, would it be like a ghost house type of thing? This place is cursed. You dare not go there. Fame through curse? Doesn't seem like the guy who would wanna do that. Or maybe he is. Interesting. Guy was tortured by his obsession with the mythos. His obsession. He's not obsessed. He wants nothing to do with it. The victim of oil medication, hence the hallucinations and unpredictable behavior. Now that makes sense. If he imagining a golden knife going through the air to hit someone and kill them in the eye, then that could be a hallucination. He saw something go through the air, but it doesn't have to mean that it was golden. His hallucinations based on their decision to look for this golden knife could turn his belief of a golden knife to be part of the curse flying through the air. So this makes sense. Ah, but then that means if this makes sense, then one of the two does not make sense. Let's see what Pitt didn't say. It's true. Then that means this would be true. And but then this goes blue. Yeah, so he doesn't want Mr. Rodney to die. He doesn't feel uncomfortable postponing the. Well, he was angry because of that. He feels both ways. He feels both ways.